All right, let's get this live going. We're gonna skip the theme song today. I'm not in a theme song mood. So, how we doing, everybody? Welcome to Famine Studios. I am your host, of course, Famine. I hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday. Let me just turn off the old AC in here. It is kind of hot outside today. It says it's 84 by temperature, but real field temps have it up in the 90s. So forget that noise. How's everybody doing? I see we've already got people stumbling into the chat room. Be sure to smack that like button and subscribe. I'm told on long form videos, like regular video content now, when you say like and subscribe, YouTube does this fancy little thing where the like button and the subscribe button lights up, like turns a little red so you see it. I don't know if it works on live. Let me know if it does. Yeah, let's get over here. Bjorn, as always, the first to stumble in. Ant, what's going on? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. This guy Famine here, you know, talking about these I think it's Ko-Fi treats for dogs. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's like, you know, he's got a separate camera set up for the dogs, or he can do a camera for the dogs. Look at that. Look at them pets. Look at those guys. So I guess if you donate Ko-Fi links scrolling across there, it's in the comment section. You can donate there and they will get a treat. And they've got some treats already lined up there. They've been good. So yeah. Weird guy, that Famine. And yes, we do have a pupper cam. Also be a kitty cam too, but the kitties are all lounging about and being lazy bums today. I think they could tell us hot. How about too sweet? Too sweet me. That's what's up. As always. Working a lot on your artwork. I saw that you had mentioned that you're almost done and you're going to start coloring, which is great. I love coloring. Could you stop shaking the table? This isn't a union production. I don't need all three of you to shake the table. I can do that plenty with my big fat thighs. It's all good. Plenty of space for more kitty cats to sit there. Yeah, I love to color. One of my favorite things in the world, like when I am frustrated or like artistically I hit a block, a writer's block, I will color. I'll get a coloring book and some colored pencils or crayons. I like colored pencils over crayons, and I just get right to work. And I'm trying to stick to water today. We took a little, had a little bit of road trippage yesterday, and I did not drink nearly as much water as I normally do. I don't know why I didn't bring a jug with me, but I got a cramp this morning when I was getting up, so I decided I'm going to drink some water, and I gave myself a little advantage with Liquid IV. Hashtag not sponsored. Can't say. With the lady doing errands. Hello, Red's lady. Red, thank you for stopping in, one of our faithful patrons. Popping in, friend of the community, and a great guest that we had on World Makers Consortium last week, not this previous week, the week before, so go check that out. Always watch the replay on that. That's over on Rad Toys channel. We stopped doing the dual streams on both of our platforms just because some people were getting confused that they weren't seeing messages and the chats and thought that maybe they were blocked from somebody's page. So there are old episodes still archived here on my page. You can go watch those. Any of the new ones, you're going to want to check it out on Rad Toys. So before we get started, so again, waiting for some more people to come in. I went downstairs to my old workshop to pull some of the stuff that I've done for my different layouts that I think I can reuse for this type of stuff. And I had done this rock formation for kind of like a Jurassic layout with the cleavage on the stones and the fractures. I just thought it was cool. It's stacked up foam, right? I didn't even use I think I used the bandsaw to cut that, and I used just a knife. It wasn't even a hot knife or anything. But I think we could probably modify this into something. We could absolutely modify that into something. So I thought to myself, let me go ahead and, you know, share that with you guys. And then here are some Jurassic panels that I had done for my Jurassic Park and Jurassic World setup. I did two of them smaller than one because I wanted one to be the middle one, which you can obviously see. And let me pull them back a little bit here, and I'll hold them up to the camera, but they set up nicely. and it makes a Jurassic Park style playset fence. And I got the idea from Ted Brothers. Not going to take any credit, but it's just like honestly dollar store or Walmart dowels and square dowels, and I just turned them into panels for my dinosaur fences for photos. I printed out the little signs that say like high voltage and stuff, but I didn't print them on you need to print on a laser printer when you're going to do something like that, because any type of sealant or any type of weathering that you want to do, it'll make the ink run. I didn't think at the time. I got really gung-ho about it, printed it out, got moisture on it when I was trying to weather them, ruined them, so I need to get a new set, and maybe I'll include those in a release on Patreon. I can make my own that look exactly like that. That way I'm not doing any copyright infringement or anything. But yeah, these were really cool. They're lightweight. I did a shitty job spray painting them at the time because I needed them for a photo like yesterday when I had made them. But these they're rugged for kids to play with. Like they're not going to fall apart. They're heavy on the bottom. You could probably put them on foam if you wanted to have an even wider base, but they're just really cool play sets. And like I said, they were inspired by the Jurassic Junkie, Jurassic Compound, Ted Brothers. He's gone by several names on here. But I think they're really cool. And also you could probably use these for your Star Wars world building, your sci-fi world building. If you have maybe a Rancor pit, that guy up there, he's going off to Rad Toys. But if you have like a Rancor pit or something, maybe a fighting arena, same principle. You could paint the bars like red for lasers. You don't have to do them as gray. I just did them as gray to kind of make like a natural tone. Like this looks like metal and industry. So those are there. I thought I would share those with you guys. I thought maybe you'd get a kick out of it. Before we got started on a more sci-fi panel, I want to say hello to Audi. What's going on, Audi? Welcome, welcome. Now, I love me some Toy Domination. You guys know that. I've been a guest on there several times. They are friends of the show. I would like to think I'm a friend of their show. But no, Dom and Joe are really great guys. But, every once in a while, you got somebody that, maybe you don't think you're going to pick up too many tips and tricks for customizing from. And then Dom comes along. And he's going to throw out his TV. I think it was a TV box or neighbor's TV box or something. And he found these really great pieces. And he built these huge wall sections out of this styrofoam. This isn't XPS styrofoam. This is regular styrofoam with a little, let's see if the camera will pick it up. Yeah, you can see the little balls, the pressed foam that they make. But I think this is a really cool texture. As you can see, I've got it up there. I cut a piece to fit. I'm going to be doing that piece probably on my own without a camera because it's just so big. But I thought we could do this panel here together as basically like a trial, and then it's going to go right back up here where I had it, and it sits, and I think that's going to look really cool up there. It's going to add to the world that we're building. So let's get that going here. Now, gonna be doing brainstorming. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The guy's pretty okay. He's pretty okay. Serving his country, taking care of his family, raising two wonderful boys. Married a wonderful woman. Has some pets, successful in his field, an author. Ooh, it's not like I can't write a book that doesn't sell, because I do, and my book doesn't sell. It's available on Amazon. Tales of the Undead. Go check it out. I kid though. Please go support our friends of the channel. But I was kind of brainstorming right before I got to this show, right before I got settled down. I want to give this a little bit of a weird texture. Nothing major, nothing that's gonna take a long time to dry or anything like that, but I wanted to give it a little something, right? So what I'm gonna do is I've got a paper plate, brand new paper plate. They're great for reusable, they're recycled, they are recyclable. We're gonna use this. We're gonna use some black paint as a primer, just regular acrylic apple barrel craft paint. It's available in Walmart, Amazon. I think this bottle was $1 or something. Let me just swing over to Ko-Fi here. Check on the status of the dogs. Little treat fund there. Again, if you donate ko.fi.com, even one coffee, /Famine Studios, the dogs get a little treat. So, yeah. And also, I have my brain's not working right. I have some wallpaper there from Gimmick Starport, available for free for download for your cell phone. It's just something I thought I would give back. have it available. But yeah. All right, what you got, Rosie? What you doing here? You guys want your treat? Yeah, let's do treats. Come here, you guys get treats. So we're gonna do some treats real quick. Come here. Let's switch the camera up. I know they're like, why are you playing with the camera, Father? We're hungry. Famine, we want our treats. They don't actually sound like that. I don't. Oh, I'm like, why isn't the thing blocking the view? Come here, puppies. Mama Rosie, sit. Oh, what a good girl. Mr. Stark, sit. Good boy. Cowman, sit. You got to be under the table. Good boy. Thank you, Cowman. So I'm gonna let them munch for a second. Stand up here. I have some very easy to use DAP fast fill lights. It's like super lightweight spackling. This is gonna just add a little bit of smoothening to the texture, is what I'm gonna call it. We're gonna do that. We're gonna use the black acrylic paint, like I said. Apple Barrel, $1, $1.50 at Walmart. Maybe it's up to $2, but again, this will last you a while. I like to use it as a primer and possibly a splash of water to act like a something to help the capillary action spread here. But we're gonna find out. So let's get moving on that. Is that good, Rosie? You chomping on that? Stork, is that good? They're working on those. We're going to get started over here. So, like I said, we're going to do this here. So how's everybody's Sunday going, by the way? I do want to check in on you guys. Make sure everybody's doing okay. Make sure my friends are all right. You gotta pull a tab or anything? Just open it up. Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, that's a cool texture. It's piped in. Almost like ice cream. If you guys don't have like spatulas, paint spatulas, which I do, I just don't want to fish them out. And you're saying to yourself, like, what could I use? If you're at IKEA, they have wooden cutlery, and I'm just going to use this wooden knife that I helped myself to a few of them, and put it to use. Yeah, that's super lightweight. So we'll go ahead and we'll use that there. And it's fast drying too. That's the one you want to look for. Fast drying. This says 30 minutes and it's ready for paint. So, and it won't flash through the paint, which is great. Watching Star Wars for the millionth time. Love to see it. Love watching Star Wars. You know me. The forbidden ice cream. Yes, this is this is worse than the people that lick the blue bunny ice cream or whatever it is. Reclaiming the work desk from the catch-all mess it's become. Feels, brother, feels. I try so hard not to let things become a catch-all, and yet sometimes, through no fault of my own, it's entirely my fault. It's Famine's fault. It's me. Entirely my fault. Okay. We're just gonna make Venom here. We're making a symbiote, guys. This is no longer a world building video. This is entirely Famine making a symbiote live action. We'll mix the paint into the spackle. Lightweight spackle. It's so light. Just gonna. I tilt the plate a little bit, the palette, just so that I can work it in. And everything runs in the same direction, and then I mix away from the direction that it runs. That way I kind of let gravity assist me in what I'm doing, and I can always pull back towards myself and let that shit run down again. But yeah, steel wood cutlery from IKEA. There you go. Get that out. And that mixed up real good, real quick, real easy. Now, one thing I want to do, I'm going to let that set for a minute. Let the colors marry. That's called, when you mix things together in the culinary world, it's called marrying. So I'm going to use that same phrase. I've got some Gravely's here that I just grabbed that I thought like, okay, we can toss into some things. So we'll put those to use real quick. My thought here is maybe this section of metal, this is going to be like a metallic type thing, is used to hold back the walls, because in the shipyard is where there was some mining that took place. So we create panels to like cover holes and things. So we'll put some Gravely's on there for unknown uses, unknown technology. You know, we don't know what they do. We don't know what they're for. But I want to just want to slap a few of those on here, and then they'll get sealed in with whatever we put on, just to make it interesting. And I'm using a hot glue gun on foam so it doesn't sink right in. I'll let the glue cool a little bit, and then push the item in, and that'll fasten right fast, and that'll look good. The back of this cast piece, this is a cast piece that I made from those Evil Ted molds, and I went ahead and just poured excess resin in there, but I used it on a cosplay. When I was scrapping out the piece due to damage, I just popped that off and kept it, so it'll get repainted a different color. And on the back, I'm just going to use the sanding stick. Again, dollar store, you get a pack of them, 10 or 15, I can't remember what it is, for $1.25. Just put them to use. Give that a little bit of tooth. I don't think the tooth is going to matter entirely too much. And tooth is just like the purchase that it has, the texture that it's allowed to use. We'll load that up on the back with some glue. Let it cool for just a moment. And yeah, we'll just stick that right there. Right? We don't know what that is for. We don't know what it is. Do you know? I don't know. Put that one. And we'll put that one off to the side there. Maybe I can have some like chemicals running out of it a little bit later in the build. There we go. I think I'll hold off on using these other ones that I set aside, but yeah. Turn that off. Put that away, out of our way, and unplug the hot glue gun so I don't burn myself. So are you guys following what I'm doing pretty much so far? Like, am I making sense? Do you understand what Old Famine is saying? Honestly, I don't know why people watch me when I do voices and stuff like that, but you guys keep tuning in, so thank you very much for that. Bjorn Soul Stream Hopper over there. And I'm going to do these holes first, just so that I can ensure that the paint gets around the rim. So basically, it's like a job, and you take care of the rim of the thing. I guess we're rim jobbing this, right? That's what we want to call it. Sound off below with hashtag rim jobbing it if you think that's a good idea for what we're doing here. Good name. Hashtag rim jobbing it. And also let me know if you have been rim jobbing it on work. Adrian, how's it going? Devastation Station. What up, what up? We are making some panels inspired by Toy Domination's, I think his was a television packaging build. This is from a refrigerator. And we're rim jobbing it. Look at that. We make things happen. Watch me harass Wenzilla right now. Got to come in and see all this rim jobbing taking place. You see what I mean by where, like I'm saying, I'm going around here as I see as the paint dries, like because this is getting filled in, you get to kind of see like the little texture. Like if I were to just dry brush that, you could definitely see all the textured spots. So that's why I want to make sure that I get in here into each of these circles and make sure that I just apply paint to that ridge, that radius, the rim, if you will, that we are doing the job on. Hey, Famine, how come you say your show isn't for children? Well, you know, this right here. But you're working with toys. Yes, I am, but also talking about rim jobbing it. So, you know, you choose. Okay. Poor Josh. Don't poor Josh. He's actually, you know, knowing Josh, he's actually probably working on his layout right now too. So his station, getting ready for his big close-up with Rad Toys for Rad's documentary Station People that's going to be coming up. I think Pirates and Rad are going to be starting their road trip very soon. Oh, we got a hair. We got a really long human hair. Oh no, that's a glue string. All right, I'm just going to set that over there and never look at it again until I vacuum, which will be later today. Also, if you're not a patron and you've been thinking to yourself, man, I might sign up, now's a great time. I'm doing a giveaway. All the paid patrons are getting an opportunity to be entered in the raffle. Their name's going to be entered in a giveaway of a Aegis Station Tread Droid. Here is mine that I did. Did a Wayland Yutani one. And anybody who is entered in, if you win, you get a choice of how it gets decorated. I will paint it whatever you want it to look like. If you want me to go wild on it, I will. If you want me to weather it, whatever, we could talk about that. But I'm excited to do that for you, whoever wins. So again, there's tiers starting really, really cheap to really, really still cheap. And if you sign up, you'll be thrown in for the month. So consider that. Grown-ass men. Rims may be part of the job. Yeah. Payment Studios is highly professional, and the hair came from it was a piece of string from the hot glue string. All right, and I can see this is already starting to dry. I'm starting to see the white come through of the foam underneath. So as those dry, I'm also just going to pull out that excess. I kind of slapped it on in there in certain areas. So we'll pull out that excess just so we can see that we really got coverage or not. And right now I'm going to start putting it on the other areas, okay? Is that okay with you guys? I'd use a wider brush, but boy howdy do we got to dig this, milk this for content. So we're using a smaller brush. I'm kidding. I don't want to waste the chip brush on this. And also using the smaller brush allows me to have more control as I layer this stuff on, because we'll probably do 2 coats and then we'll start adding actual dry brushing and color to it. I want it to look kind of like some weird space age metal, and it's going to have some rust and some weathering and blaster marks and things like that, because that's indicative of a Star Wars / sci-fi universe when there is clear signs of crime that, it's there. There's clearly been a murder in this alleyway, and we all just keep going to work because it's the dystopian future. Is that a good treat, Stark? Are you having a time? He's having the time of his life down there. Painting day. You're painting your logo for Devastation Station. That's awesome. Let me ask this. Are you painting like a logo on your layout or your setup, or is this a logo for Devastation Station, like you're painting it and then going to photograph it and put it on the interwebs? Why is this thing flashing? Very strange. It's going perfectly fine. We're going to switch cameras for a moment. I want to see something. There he is. Look at this face. And again, we are just, we're doing happy little brush strokes as we put in this mix, again, of super lightweight spackle, just fix and fill, mixed with acrylic paint, about a 1-to-1 ratio, maybe 2-to-1 paint to spackle. It's entirely what you want, how you want it. We are just filling things in, putting a good coat on here. It's also going to increase the durability of this. I will likely go over it with Mod Podge as well. Painting it and going to post it on Instagram. That's cool. I dug into my pockets and I gave money to a couple artists, and I said, hey, I could half-ass this, or I could zero-ass it, have you whole-ass it, and make me a sweet logo. And lo and behold, sorry, friend. Sorry, Rosie. Lo and behold, we got cool logos. And speaking of cool logos, those cool logos are available. They are available now on shirts that you can go pick up at TeePublic. As you can see right there on the screen, we got the Patreon, we got the Instagram, and we got the TeePublic links cruising through. I just dropped my brush on the floor. Let me pick that up. I didn't even land on the floor for it. That's great. Comments, let's see. J Dioramas 0.0. I am working on a panel wall. Basically, this is a test piece of that foam that's up there from a refrigerator box. And it's going to be like a type of a metal panel. Words are hard. And yeah, once this gets a couple of coats of this mix-up that I've done here, as a protectant, we'll coat it with Mod Podge, and then we'll start adding color to it. So that's currently, I'm just painting black paint mixed with 2 parts black paint, black acrylic paint mixed with light fast fill spackle. And it's going to fill in some of these more deep little pock marks that I don't want to be so patterned. I could work it into the lure, but I'm lazy and don't want to. Oh, but it landed on my shirt. Son of a bitch. It's a good thing you're wearing a black shirt, Fannin. Yeah, that's a good point. I may also tack like a little ladder to this. I haven't decided yet how involved I want this or how busy I want this to be, because I may add details to it later as I world build up. Hey, Lord of Thane, how's it going? I am working on some styrofoam panels made from a refrigerator packaging to go on my walls and behind the layout that I have here in the docks area of Gimmick Starport. And I'm only going to give Toy Domination a little credit for the idea of snatching this type of styrofoam and using it. I'm going to pretend that it was all my idea, and we're just going to play along. How are things going over in Germany right now? I know a couple of my friends checked in. I see things have gotten dicey in Britain. And yeah, I'm just curious if it's like that in Germany or if you guys are, cooler heads are prevailing. And you are safe. Hey, there you go. Yeah, if you want to make your artwork and you want it to be specific for you, rock and roll and do it yourself. DIY is punk rock. getting there. As you can see, the white's starting to shine through, so we'll just do another coat when it all dries up. Also, I'm fully expecting this to curl up a little bit, so I have I think I've got an idea for a solution. Because you can't really beat foam in a submission. You can heat it and it would kind of melt and whatnot, but you can stiffen it. You can stiffen it up from behind. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. I was more talking about the riots that were going on, but yes, also storms. Storms have been no joke. We've been having some crazier than normal weather here in upstate New York as well. Like these types of flash floods and thunderstorms that we've been having were the same that a few years ago they were telling us was once in a century storms, like once in a lifetime type storms. And yeah, it seems like my lifetime is just, you know, getting a lot of these once in a lifetime storms. Yeah, yeah. I saw that. That's one of those things where I lean heavily onto the, you know, people ask why I'm so anti-AI, especially unethically used AI, which is like unethical use of AI is like ChatGPT, where it's been trained on artists' work without giving them permission. I've used AI for a couple of things through a program that I pay money for, and they allocate money to their artists. They pay them to scan their work in to utilize for the AI algorithm. So, but even then, I don't use it very often. And yeah, the fact that somebody was able to use AI to create a false image and spark fake outrage, which led to people preying on things that they already hated and just using that as an excuse to be huge pieces of shit. I just didn't know if it carried over outside of, you know, London and the surrounding areas that this type of stuff was going on in. Yes, it's like, oh, this is once in a century storm of the century, and it just keeps happening. Dude, you're gonna get nailed soon? Nice. What's his name? Yes, it's very frightening because I wholeheartedly could see that happening in other places, and selfishly, I could absolutely see it happening here in the States, with all the goings on and the people that are making up their minds that anything that they disagree with is false, and anything that presents actual evidence in front of them isn't real. But when they see something that's clearly fake and it matches their narrative, they say, yes, that's the thing. So, yeah. Do you need a Canadian to loan you their canoe? We could call up Brad and see if he will loan you his moose boat to get around. And as big as a state as New York is, I think we are the third or fourth largest state in the union. Yeah. I think New York is the largest, the third or fourth largest state in the union, and we have one of the highest tax rates. California is second highest to us, and we pay a lot of taxes for infrastructure, and we have a pretty good infrastructure, all things considered. However, there are still roads that have been completely washed out from Hurricane Irene, which was now, I want to say 8 or 9 years ago. And they just haven't been able to reestablish these roads and bridges due to, see, real quick, I just want to show you guys. Let's see if I can pick it up. This one right here. Where are you on the camera? There's some white. And right there, there's some white that I had missed. That's why I wanted to get that done before I started putting color down. That way, even if I miss it with the weathering, it'll look like a shadow and it'll add to the effect. But yeah, even with all the infrastructure and the taxes we paid, there's just been certain bridges, be it the way that they were originally built or the area or just how bad the damage is, that they haven't been able to reopen them, haven't been able to reestablish them. And it's so wild to me because I have an older GPS. I don't use it very often, but like when my cell phone just cannot get a GPS signal, because again, we've been hit with a bunch of storms, I'll throw that actual GPS device in my car, and it's got old information on it, but it still updates by satellites. Every once in a while, if I'm heading back up towards camp, it'll try and direct me to a road. There's no road. There's no bridge. There's just concrete barricades that they've set up. It's just a bridge no longer in service. And it's tried to send me there a few times. And after like the third time, because it takes that much for me, I figured it out. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. But the climate isn't changing. No, sir. That's more that fake news stuff. For me, I remember it would have been the 90s for me when I was a youth. So I was born in the 80s, but, like my formative years, especially in this town in New York State, were in the 90s. And I remember we'd have like 1 or 2 weeks towards the end of August where it was just unbearably hot. Maybe we'd get a spillover into September, which they would call it Indian summer. That's not the PC phrase anymore, and I don't do that, but they would call it that. And you'd get like the heat again, and it would be hot, like 90s or whatever. And we'd go to the pool every day that week and play out in the hose or whatever. But I do not remember summers where there were just these oppressive heat waves for so long. Like, it's just nonstop, and it's been pretty much nonstop every couple of weeks. They're like, oh, the heat wave's breaking. The following day, new heat wave warning. It's like, y'all can't just call it one big heat wave. Do we need to keep doing this? Oh, I believe it, Bjorn. I absolutely believe it. It's like I said, it's 85 here. It's humid as an MFer. It is MFing humid out there. Like that, and try and get that good sponsorship money. They're saying Tuesday the temp should drop. Should. And we've already got a tropical storm moving through Mexico, or up the coast of Mexico, and it's going to cause some fun stuff. So yeah, and tomorrow 88, and then they're saying Tuesday it's supposed to be like 79. I'll believe that when I see it. Yes, yeah, I remember getting frost in late September too. October was cold. There was none of this 2 years ago. Right towards the end of the height of the COVID pandemic, we quarantined, some friends and I. We quarantined for a week beforehand. We all did tests before we went. We went camping up in the Adirondacks and did social distancing and everything, but it was in October, towards the end of October, and we were able to swim in a pond. Basically, their ponds are lakes. They're fucking huge. We were able to go swimming on a hot day. The water was not ice cold. The water was lovely, and it was very surreal. I have a panorama that I took from in the water. All the leaves had changed, but it was still so hot that you could swim in the Adirondacks. Anybody familiar with New York State, or familiar with the Adirondacks at least, knows the Adirondacks is the coldest part of the state. It's cold all the way up to Canada from there, and you're never able to swim in October unless you're like a psychopath. And that's it. It was so strange. Hometown in the 80s, snowboarding season from November to December. Supposed to be good because there's no snow. That is sad. Even with the technology for the artificial snow that they use, because I know we used to supplement here, and now that the winters are so strange where we don't get just the regular snowfall like we used to get, where we'd get 5 or 6 inches here, 5 or 6 inches there, and it would just continue throughout the year. Now it's, hey, by the way, this snowstorm's rocking through. you're going to get 16 to 24 inches. In the hill towns, you're going to get upwards of 3 feet, and then we won't get snow for a while, and then all of a sudden, bam, another storm. Or we get these weird winters that we've also had where we get nothing. No snow. Maybe a couple inches here or there, some flurries, absolutely some sleet, but like it's super strange and super weird, and it's, you know, it makes me very sad that there are folks out there that have gaslit themselves into believing that there's, you know, that things have always been this way and nothing's changed. Like, now we're starting to get heavy. See how the pigment is much heavier here from the second coat? That's what we're looking for. Once that dries up, once I get this whole thing with that second heavier coat of pigment on there, we'll Mod Podge this. We'll let that dry. We can do a little more talk, show, and tell. And then, wow. Yeah, we get cold. I used to, because I'm a psychopath, we used to go camping in the winter up the Adirondacks again. And, you know, that was some of the coldest that I've ever experienced. And then coming back and dealing with cold here, I'm realistically, we'll say I'm about 3 hours from where we camped. So it's 3 hours north of here is where these mountains are that we would go to. And the difference in what is considered cold there versus cold here is astronomically different. However, we still get cold, but it's like it's that dry, hateful cold. And yeah, there, you know, somebody might be like, "Oh, there's no difference in cold. Cold is cold." No, there's that cold that's like, this is chilly, a little blustery, and then the cold that like hurts your bones and gets you to the core. And then there's that cold where you walk outside and your face hurts and your boogers instantly freeze, your eyes like water because they're trying to defend themselves, and it doesn't matter how many hats and gloves you had, and you're just and we'll get that bitter cold, but it's a strange feeling, and maybe that's just because I'm getting older and my body is changing. They say you go through like a second puberty in your 30s. I know I've been getting a lot of goddamn hair in my ears, that's for sure. Hate that. Don't recommend that to anybody. But I don't know what it is. It's just the weather, the ecosystem. Rosie, ma'am, please get down. But don't look at me. I gave you guys a treat. I'm not the one in charge of the Ko-Fi donations for the treats. I'm just saying. Yes, and especially after having COVID 3 times, it's a bitch. Yeah, don't look at me like I'm just over here. I'll put it on the screen. Yeah. I love you. You're so beautiful. You're such a pretty puppy. Yes, anybody who donates a Ko-Fi today, the puppy dogs are getting treats for it. And they just enjoyed their last treat. And now Rosie is up on the bed where she's not supposed to be, looking at me like, what are you going to do about it, big guy? You going to give me a treat, or are you going to let me stay up here? Hell yeah! This is starting to look like what I want. I want this dark base coat. I like priming with a dark color. I know some people like to do gray because then they can do zenithal highlights. I am not planning on using any spray paint on this. You could, once you coat this and then coat it in Mod Podge nicely, you can spray paint this. Imagine we had something like that on top of all the strange weather. Yeah. It's very weird. Like, and also we've been getting, you're so beautiful. We've been getting more and more hurricanes that reach upstate New York, which we'd get maybe one every 5 or so years, and it would be downgraded to a tropical storm, right? We would get, it would usually be in November, right in the beginning of November, maybe late October, and it would come through, it would blow through, it would knock over some lines and stuff. I recently posted in my Instagram stories. I'm so sorry. Oh God, brought yourself successfully in the bad mood. Twilight boobies, Leia in the bikini, Star Wars. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday too, my friend. Get some sleep. Yeah, let's move away from the global weather topic. I guess we'll move away from that. It was a little spooky. Yeah. So once you coat this in Mod Podge, you can spray paint this styrofoam. However, if you spray paint this styrofoam directly, it will get eaten. It'll eat it. The spray paint will eat right through the propellant that is in there mixed with the paint. Will just eat right through the foam, and you'll have a messy mess on your hands, and you don't want that. And it won't cure. That's the other thing too, is that it won't. I have never heard of those, and I will be looking into that because that sounds really weird and spooky. Any of the hurricanes that are in the Baltics, do they call those Balcanes? Balacanes? I would appreciate it if they're called Balacanes, because that just tickles my funny childish bone. No, Balacane. I think, guys, this is a little bit of Star Wars news. Excuse me. Any new dinos? No new dinos recently. No, I think the ship's the newest thing that I got from Lightyear. Yeah, it's been Joy Toy figures and the Lightyear ship. No dinosaurs. I'm waiting on a couple of the new ones to hit. The Walmart exclusive ones. I'm waiting for those to hit. There's a Spinosaurus that's out, or coming out, that I'd like to have. If you're one of those people that likes to know what toys do well in toy lines to, save them and flip them or whatever and scalp, don't do that. But also those anytime there's a Spinosaurus that is a Walmart exclusive, they go fast and people lose their minds for them because they never wind up overseas. So you get European buyers trying to buy them in bulk and then flip them and scalp them. So if you have a friend in Europe and they're like, hey, I want a dinosaur, could you get me one? Pick it up for them, help them out. Yeah, it's good. I like that one. I do like the armadillo still, but absolutely love that one for a fighter. It's so dope. Well designed, well put together ship. Really cool concept. And we are painting the edges now. I'm going to paint the edges. Adam, what's going on? I'm going to paint the edges because why not, right? I tend to forget to do that, so I'm doing it now. Because old Famine consistently will forget to paint the edges for something, and then I'll go to take a picture from an angle, and I'll see the edge, and I'll be like, God bless it. Catching poachers. Oh, he's got he's chained up a dinosaur outside, and he's catching them. Catching poachers. I went to a Sinclair gas station, I think, for the first time in my life. If I went when I was a youngin', I don't remember. I feel like I would have because their logo is a dinosaur. But we found one yesterday, and we stopped there for fuel, and they have a dinosaur out in front. No covers over the gas pumps in the pouring rain, but there's a dinosaur out front. So I went outside and took my picture with the chained up dinosaur. So much darker that's getting. The white's barely showing through. We like that. We like that. I'm just going to do this edge here and that edge. Now we're edging. We've done our rim job. Now we're edging. Hashtag, I love edging. Make sure you hashtag I love edging. Yeah, you go to Sinclair and get the dinosaur straight from the pump. get this taken care of here. We're going to let this dry in a minute. I was going to do the hairdryer method, but again, this foam is, like I said, finicky with heat. So we will just let it air dry. It's going to dry pretty quick. Turn the air conditioner off too. That'll help. I think you get an edgy rim job at Hot Topic in the changing room. So, I'm kidding. I've never. That's never happened to me in a Hot Topic changing room. I did get asked not to lock the changing room door once when I went in there to try on a shirt, which maybe would have led to an edgy rim job, but I digress. Come on, do it. Fly. Let's get this paint all gooped up on the edge here. And I'll show you guys, for those of you that weren't in here, I brought a couple of older pieces that I made for some of my Jurassic stuff that I think we could repurpose into some items for the 1/18 scale world building that we're doing with the sci-fi stuff. Or you could too. I know some of you guys love to do dinosaur shots. Some of you guys like to have monsters and stuff in your setup. So this would be a great, I'll get a couple of items there would be great for that. Like I said, we're going to let this dry up here. Touch up those edges anyway because I handle this like a monster. There you go. You sit right there and can dry. No. No. There we go. Cool. Just set up there. All the above, yeah. So I have done some Jurassic Park style fences for playset use. You could certainly use like wires and stuff if you wanted to use them. I've done a couple of smaller ones and one larger one, so I could get like a, I could utilize it for a scene. Set up like this, and then it's it's a little Jurassic barricade, little world building barricade, or I can make one set look like gates, open up and close, set these in the back, put some plants so it looks like it's double protected. And I was inspired by Ted Brothers for these, and I just kind of watched him do his stuff and then did my own Walmart rectangle dowels and wooden dowels, and it was like cost me like $3 or $4 total for these to make them. And you could paint them whatever. I spray painted them in a hurry because I needed them for a shot when I made them, and then I just put them downstairs with some raptors inside of them. But these are really easy to make. Like I said, they're cheap. You just make your measurements of how far apart you want your bar spaced. You drill them. You put a little wood glue in there. You put your dowels in, press them together, and then glue them to the bottom, to the base piece. And you got yourself a little playset fence. And as I said, I had the signs, the high voltage signs, but I printed them on regular printer paper, not thinking. And when I tried to weather them and seal them, it ruined them. So it needs to be printed on laser paper, or printed by a laser printer, and then you can weather that paper. But great little things, and they're rugged too. They're not going to break. They're not going to fall apart. Your T-Rex, when it bites on them, it's not going to destroy it. So really fun things. And again, you could use those for rancors. You could use those to keep it in Acklay. Use it as a prison. You could repaint the bars like maybe red, do a laser gray or green. You could do it as lasers. All kinds of opportunities. And then another piece that I brought was just I needed a little background rock and some dry brushing and stuff, but it was some stacked up pieces of scrap foam from my old job. I just threw it together. Yeah, it's just that's how easy it is. And I say it's easy, and that's not me being like, oh, it's so easy for me. I mean, quite literally, like anybody could do this task. It is very easy. Highly recommend it. Yeah, PV. I use Mod Podge usually or spray. Elmer's glue has a nice spray sealant for protecting photos, printed photos and whatnot. But I don't, for whatever reason, I used an inkjet printer, wasn't thinking. And those inkjet printers, the ink is very finicky. And once it got any sort of damp or any sort of moisture on it, it absolutely failed. And it was a frustrating experience. Now, if you do have a container, like a little, an empty paint container or something, paint pot, you can scrape this stuff off the plate, keep it, and use it again on other pieces. I thought about throwing it back in there. I don't know if it'll mix up well with that. So we're going to wait. I've got a little extra here. Is what it is. Next time I'll know, watch my mix. But again, that ratio was 2 parts black acrylic apple barrel paint, matte black paint to 1 part fast and quick dry spackle. And I do want to just thank again my patrons. Bjorn was the first patron, Lord of Thane, who stopped in. Always love that. Task Force Wombat, Red Foo, Fat Red Foo, Toy Domination, Audi Multiverse, and of course, our newest patron, Triple D Outpost. Thank him so much for signing up. Yeah, it was one of those things where I was just like, immediately I knew it was that's what I did wrong. Sometimes it happens. I'm glad it wasn't on a paid commission, and I'm glad it wasn't on a time frame window where I was like, I can't fix this. I've screwed up and cost myself money. None of that. It was just a case of incorrectly printing it on the wrong thing. I should have gone to the library and printed it out. I don't know why I got ambitious and was like, let me hook up my printer and I'll do it here. No idea what I was thinking. And also you can get some official Famine Studios merch, some stickers over on TeePublic, teepublic.com/user/famine-studios. Over on Patreon. Again, that Patreon link is patreon.com/Famine Studios 262. Don't know why they gave me the number, they just did. And you can sign up there. Again, we're doing a raffle this month for all paid members, even at the lowest tier up to the highest tier, which is still cheap. I'm going to be painting a custom Aegis Station tread droid. I'll do it whatever way you want, whatever color scheme. If you want it to look like a certain company from a show, or you just want it to match your troopers, you want it to look like a piece of junk, rusted out, whatever, I will take care of that for you. We'll make it happen. It'll look really cool. So be sure to get on that if you're not already. So that's drying. I've got this here. Man, I feel wasteful. You know me, I don't like to waste things. I'm always like, use garbage, recycle. Do I have any extra containers? Because I don't want to take that down right now and start painting on it. Because again, it's massive. It won't fit on my workbench with the camera, laptop, and stuff here. I'll have to clear it, or I'll have to take it outside to do it. I don't think I have any containers. We're going to gamble, boys. We're going to gamble, boys and girls. Everybody in between. We're going to take this container. We're going to put this stuff in there. Just set it off to the side. I mean, I know it's liquid, so chances are that it's going to obey any laws that I set up to. Are minute, but we're going to try it. It's not like this is for home repair, so I don't have to worry about the white matching drywall. It's literally I bought this for world building. Yeah, I don't, you know me, I don't like being wasteful when I can help it. Like, I use recycled paper plates and stuff like that. Just add that in there. And I like to save, and that's the thing too, is like a lot of the stuff I show you guys how to do this out of trash, how to do it on the cheap. You know me, I'm a slut for savings. I will use a coupon if I can help it. I will use a discount code at every opportunity. The only time I don't is like when my friends start a business and they send me a discount code. I'm sorry, you're my friend, you're starting a business, I'm going to support you. I'm not going to use your discount code. Sorry, the 10% that you're offering me, I want to make sure that that goes into your pocket. But otherwise, and that's why I tell you guys, like with the shirts, like there's a sale going on right now. You should go check that out. Savings are savings. There you go. Forbidden ice cream has re-entered the container. And I'll just set that right back over here. That's starting to look pretty dry. There's a little bit, I can still see the shine. It's matte paint, so when it's wet, it's still shiny. I can still see that, but almost ready for putting a layer of Mod Podge on, and then we will go crazy with the paint. Broke. Hey, broke is broke, man. Broke is real, but you know what? You can also just save money when you're not broke, and that's the best way to do it. Like I grew up very destitute. We lived in homeless shelters, stayed with family friends, stayed with people that we didn't even know just because they were in similar situations. And I've learned a lot over my lifetime of poverty, to how to save, how to, make things last. And I just like to share that with you guys because that's how the rich stay rich, is they don't spend money. Anytime that they can not spend money and save their money, it happens. And it costs money to be poor. So, I like to pass on savings. That's entirely it. Like if I know you can get something for $5 off, I'm going to tell you. If I know something's on clearance at Walmart for like $6 and it's an international sale, like it's across all stores, hell yeah, I'm going to share with you guys. Go buy this dinosaur. Go buy this Wookiee. Go buy this spaceship. It's $5 off right now, or it's down to $2.97 on clearance. Like go, go, go. Because I want people to have things and I want them to be able to get it for cheap. All right. Liquid IV. Again, like I said, a lot of running around yesterday, and I did not drink nearly enough water. I got a cramp this morning when I woke up, and I was like, we got to do something about this. I'm just trying to think. I don't want to jump right into another project and then switch back. I do have this guy. He's on my docket. Weather up this sand trooper. I might actually just make him a stormtrooper. I may pop the, may just keep the backpack off and make him a regular stormtrooper. I got him at the Toy Pizza Con for $5. Oh yeah. Yeah. So let me get my Mod Podge out. The Famine Studios branded Mod Podge, which was actually donated generously from our friends at Plaid. Plaid makes Mod Podge, so go pick that up, Matt Mod Podge, from them. I need to hunt down the discount code that they gave me. Share that with you guys. Hello, Cowman. You're so handsome. Cowman's like, I can see them treats on the table, Father. Father Famine. Right. So we're gonna do a coat of Mod Podge. This part should be pretty quick. I'll let that dry a little bit more. Usually, and you guys know me, I usually do my priming and stuff before I come and do these streams, but I figured I would do one from base level so that people could follow. Again, this is the piece that we're working on. It's got a little, you can still see some of the shine. It's got a little bit of drying to do left, and then we will Mod Podge it. Mod Podge dries pretty damn quick, and then we go from there. We're going to start laying on colors, make it rusty and streaky, very industrial sci-fi, like lived in. We'll do some like paint on there, maybe look like maybe at one point it was painted a certain color, and now it's just it's been years and years and years. And anybody dropping in, sound off, say hello in the chat. Be sure to smack that like button. And did anybody else hit up the yeah, I'm a maniac. Like if I'm just as I've been doing this for 2 years, making the videos, like live stream videos, it's very different for me, because when I was cosplaying, when I was making props for people, when I was doing commission work, I worked like a tornado. I'd have two, at least at any given point, I have 2 workstations set up so I could shift from job to job to job. Content creation in this way is very different, where I'm doing things step by step and I can't really work on several projects through some of this stuff. So I've had to learn to control the urge to just be like, all right, fuck that while it dries. I want to work on this. All right, well, this is done here. I can work on this now. Let me grab this real quick. I need to put red on both of these things, so let me go grab that. Like, I've learned to focus myself, but also when it comes to just working on one thing and it's time to dry, I'm like, I wanted to hurry up and get dry. I don't often say that, but hurry up and dry out so I can get to it. And yeah, it is. It's just waiting for stuff to dry. And like I said, I could have done the hairdryer, but I feel like the hairdryer number one is too loud, right? I don't want to do that. And fun fact, I couldn't get the comment text box open. Did you try just doing it the right way the first time? I'm kidding. I don't. With Instagram having that text box issue, it seems to have fixed itself. I think I got an update overnight and it seems to be fixed now. But yeah, I understand that feel. Just like the thing just not doing it right. But again, for those tuning in, did it your mom's way? Be a total awful human being? She's not good. Me mother is not good. Yeah, I could, once I've reestablished my workshop, the actual studio part of Famine Studio, so I'm not working in the area where my art is, which I don't hate, but also like I want to just enjoy the space and play in it. I don't want to work in it. I will have multiple cameras set up for streaming, and there will be some nights where I will just put on all 4 cameras, throw the live button, the live light on so that people don't wander in and out, and I will just work, and there will be overhead shots of the different tables, and I will just move from piece to piece. And I have a TV down there that fortunately hasn't been damaged or anything, with the infrastructure that happened and the damage that happened to the shop. And I will stick that on the wall, and when the comments come up, I'll be able to see them on this there, and we can chat. People make donations, it'll ping up, and I will be able to pay attention to that stuff. But that'll be in the future. I have some good vibes coming from that project, so fingers crossed. But yeah, let me give you a quick overhead. See if this thing stopped being finicky. It was great. It was streaming perfectly. It was streaming perfectly nice for a little bit. But yeah, see, it's just waiting on the last of this to dry. There's a couple of wet spots there, and I could probably sponge them up, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Just gonna let them dry. Hey man, I give credit to Chris Shaler. He talks about how he just used to work on his kitchen table, and just used to work on his kitchen table, and that's the way he did all of his projects. And then he eventually got into his own space because he couldn't work at the family space that he had, and go from there. All right, so we're gonna start putting Mod Podge on the dry spots. Nothing bad could come of me rushing. Use a softer brush, that's for dang sure. Dang old man talking about I was a soft brush man. Yeah, dude, I went to Walmart and just like after all the issues with the studio, I went to Walmart and I got a 4-foot table, folding table for $25, and just use that. Just use that. And we're gonna go overhead now. Cool. And yeah, use whatever space you have, brother man. It doesn't have to be glamorous. It doesn't have to be fantastic. It's toys, right? So it's just got to be fun. It's just got to be fun, I guess. Is the ticket. Like I had have the studio because I was doing full scale costuming work down there. I literally had to like make mannequins of myself and different things to make the items that I was doing, so I needed such a large space. In theory, I could get away with an even smaller space than this. I just no longer want to. There's something to be said for minimalism. For me, it's nothing good to be said. I don't subscribe to that. I need to have space. I need to have my tools around. Now, I practice when I do my work. I go out of my way to ensure that I'm doing, my tools are set up in the best way. My tools take up the least amount of space that will allow me to do the job that I want to do. But, I just make sure that, I've got plenty of space to like spread out and think, look at stuff from different angles. It's just a little tray of Mod Podge. I didn't feel like dipping the brush into that. That container is so low on Mod Podge that as I was dipping into the container, I couldn't tell where I was putting it into the paint, or into the glue. So you get flack from people? See, there it goes with the damn blinky blink again. I don't understand this. Yeah, folding table's the way to go. Right, you guys are seeing the camera blink, right? I've got a second screen so that I can watch it. It's popping up on mine too, so it's not just like my connection. And now it's... Oh, no, there it goes. Okay. Doing it the old-fashioned way. Steven, welcome. Welcome to the stream. We are Mod Podging this piece to get it ready for actual paint. I primed it in black, mixed with light spackle, just to give it some texture and also take care of some of the textures that are on here. And then this Mod Podge is just going to stiffen it right up, make it add to the durability. And yes, I will be doing the circles. I'm just going to do those last. Because there's, because there's the little recesses, it's not getting as much exposure to the air to dry as fast as the other spots, so I want to give it as much time as I can. The blinking should stop. Snowflake. Hey. Cat. Did you catch a bug or something? Did you get that bug? Did you get that moth? She got the moth. Couldn't figure out what was going on over there. Sorry. Now she's going to come over here and try and get in my mess. It's okay, Star. She like you. She nice. She being a good girl. She just sniffing your ear because you got such cute ears, Stark. Stark's like, I'm getting down. I don't like this. Like this cat thing is a little too close for comfort. Use a TV tray. Nice. Yeah, I've done the TV tray thing too. That was actually what prompted me to go to Walmart and buy a folding card table, or not even a folding card table, but the little 4-foot folding table, because I borrowed my girlfriend's. I had a TV tray next to it, and I was just like, man, this is like I'm doing something wrong here. I should have my own. I don't want to ruin hers. That's always like I'm a big. Obviously, I'm an anxious person, and I've talked openly about my mental health and stuff, but I was like, my anxiety gets weird with people when they loan me things, or like let me use their equipment. I get real titchy because I'm afraid I'm going to break it, especially if it's like something like they are really attached to, and especially if it's like somebody it's my girlfriend. I love her so much, and I hate to ruin her things, and so I was like, I'm just going to flip and go to the Walmart and get my own. And now if it ruins, it's ruined. It's at least I own it. I ruined it. It's on me. I won't have to beat myself up over it beyond what I normally would. Whereas if I ruin somebody else's table, I'd feel freaking awful and just carry that guilt. I'd replace it, obviously, but you get what I'm trying to say here. Hopefully. I'm going to turn that AC back on. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Everything you do off of a television tray, hell yeah, dude. I think it was tested, was having people show their maker spaces, big, small, their workshops, if they were working off a table. I've seen people that have like a little travel kit. Those are usually the miniature painters, and they have like a little either a rolling kit or a toolbox that they bring, and it's got, everything that they need to do the thing in there and the pieces of whatever they're working on and all that stuff. And like, I love that. That's super cool. I had a modular setup of this during the height of the pandemic when I was staying at my girlfriend's house because I didn't know when I'd be able to get home. So I went to, what's that store called? Harbor Freight. There we go. And I bought a bunch of their Pelican case knockoffs. And I picked all the foam out and made layouts. And I literally took all my paint because I got my friends at Plaid, they sent me a package of about $250 worth of paint. And so I put all the paint, the acrylic paints, into those containers. I loaded one up with hot glue guns and adhesives and all that stuff, and I took it over to her house, and that way I was able to put it away and stack it up and have it and just know where everything was without taking up so much of her apartment. Like, that was an important thing. That I didn't want to do that, and it was important for her to have her space, and it was tough, and I wouldn't live with me either if I could help it. But that was the one thing where I felt like that was a do-right move by me, is to pick up that setup and have the modular ability to take that kit. And I've still got the cases. I've just now, since I'm home, I keep the I keep the ability to utilize these things right where I need them. Also, YouTube keeps telling me to plug it, and I keep forgetting. I do have the super chat feature there available. So if you guys want to use the super chat, support the channel, that's also a way to do it. Ko-Fi, buying the shirts, that helps. Even just showing up on the videos, liking it, and if you click share and copy the link, you don't even need to share it with anybody. It'd be nice if you did, but you don't need to. It just tells YouTube to push my visibility higher in the rankings of the people that are live, because somebody wants to share this. They think that this video is cool enough to share with people. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. I saw one that Jazza did for his Marvel, that Marvel tabletop game that's out, and he brings that home with him because he works on it with his kid. And I just thought that was like a super cool little self-contained kit to do that one particular hobby. And you guys know me, I do full-size scale stuff, 1/1 models and 1/1 customs and props. So I can't always have a little travel kit, but if I had just the one hobby, if I was just doing miniature, just doing figures or whatever, I would certainly consider a little travel hobby kit. And I'll admittedly get manic, like on vacation, and pick up a couple of things here or there just so that I can fuss with them and use them. But that's just me being me, Yeah, I'm just going to blend that black spot that won't dry in with the Mod Podge, and now it'll dry. And I'm seeing a lot of streaks in the Mod Podge right now. The one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys in a second, is a little trick. I learned. This one thing they hate. Crisis Protocol. Yep, that's the one. Yep, Adam's got that one right. This one simple trick that the government doesn't want you to know for painting. Get rid of brush strokes. Right, you guys, this is top secret. All right, so it's like super secret. Just take your brush and just stipple it. And if you're like, damn, Famine, that seems like a lot of work, I feel you. So let's think this through. What do we want to do? How do we want to, could I use a cloth? I could use a cloth, or I could use one of my big makeup brushes that I use for dry brushing. That's pretty cool. But for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and use a chip brush that I do acrylic and latex painting with black. Do this into the Mod Podge, and it's just going to give it a unique texture. It's going to let it dry more evenly. I'm sorry I'm shaking the screen, but you guys get the picture. And I don't know if you can see that, you can kind of see the difference on the screen, but yeah, it just adds a little bit of a texture to it. It breaks up the brush strokes, and it adds to the unique level. And the thicker the Mod Podge is too, I'm not saying slap like Mod Podge on, but if you layer it on thick in some spots like I do, because I'm inconsistent when I'm not painting detail stuff because of who I am as a person, the more of an impact you're going to get with the pattern, right? The more of the look you're going to achieve with just dimpling the paint and breaking up those brush strokes. Let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. You can kind of see it there. Yeah, dude, it's a sickness. But I have more or less officially retired from cosplaying for a while. I will still be hosting. I am still always available to host, to do shows, contests, things like that. I don't mind. The cosplay community has, I believe, I don't even want to say lost its way, because that's giving it way too much fucking credit. Like, we're... Tryptophobia. And tryptophobia, I think. But yeah, I listen, we were grown-ups and teens and stuff that played dress up, and we dressed up as our favorite cartoon characters, comic book characters, book characters, movie characters, and some people had some real success in it, making a living off of that, and I think that's phenomenal. Like, the artistry, the talent, the patience it takes to make it in that. But everybody thinks that they're going to be the next something and somebody, and they have such egos about them, when in reality, we are just adults and teens playing dress up, and I'm over it. You know, people snitch on each other for who they're hanging out with, and, you know, which tables that they're at, talking to which suppliers and things like that. And it's like one thing, okay, if somebody's talking to somebody who's a known predator in the community, by all means snitch. But if you think that somebody's talking to somebody that they don't like and all this stuff, we're not in high school anymore. High school is long gone. We're adults with jobs at banks and financial institutions, construction sites, computer centers. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's a hobby at best, right? Like, most of us, we're not going to make money off of it, especially a lot of the people that think they are. They're not. It usually falls into the lap of the people that they do. It's not like something where they are just infinitely successful. It takes someone with untouched talent and creative energy, not necessarily someone who buys all their stuff. And so it's nonsense. And with that said, like I said, I have moved away from that hobby. I, may still make one here or there for myself. That will be the long brush. That will be It'll be just for myself for photos and stuff. You may see me post it up on here, but not on here, but on. You get what I'm trying to say, on Instagram. But like, come on, man. People, grown-ups getting childish over not getting chosen to make costumes for their living that they want to. If you really want to make costumes for a living and not just reproduce other people's stuff in costumes that you get to wear and you get all the benefits from, go into film. Go to school for film or work at a props house. Go to a theater company, get in their wardrobe department, make friends, make contacts, things like that. Don't cry on social media in your story post that you can't, nobody ever picks you to make the things because of whatever your perceived notion is. Like, I'm 100% sure, 100% certain there is discrimination in cosplay. I just don't think that people crying that they didn't get picked because their version of, their plainclothes version of Nightwing didn't get chosen to go to the DC costume premiere over the guy who, 3D printed his Eskimo sticks and put fabric on his costume and silicone and made a badass suit, gets to go to the premiere, and you're mad that you didn't get to go because you put on a gray jacket with a blue bird that you painted on. Sorry, that's not how the world works, unfortunately. If it did, everybody would get to go, but we would also have nothing to prescribe to and try and strive to be a better maker, an artist, and a more creative person. So I don't know. I'm all set with it. Right? Like I said, I may do a couple of things for myself, but it is for myself. I'm not going to be going to conventions in cosplay for the foreseeable future unless I am booked for hosting duties. There are very few events that I will still host. There are a couple of people who I will always work with, but this is the truth. Hey, thank you. Bjorn says I have the nicest hair on YouTube, so I took that to heart. How's it going, man? I'll bring that down a little bit. Show you guys what I'm doing here. And like I said, I gave the holes some time to dry out, just to make sure. And now I'm just stippling in the Mod Podge down in there, letting that dry. And I might break out the hairdryer, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Old Famine's patience is running real thin with us waiting for stuff to dry today. I bet I could set this thing outside and it would dry in about 12 seconds flat out there. But it's humid too, so, you know, with my luck, that's when a thunderstorm will break and soak the whole thing. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get the hairdryer. I'll mute my microphone. Yeah, I rarely ever want a dry hole. Not gonna lie to you. Never really want a dry hole, but some cases. Where are you? Now, up on. Where I left you. So. That's what she said. Yeah, that's true. Put the air conditioner. Hey, Snowflake, I don't want you to jump a mile when I turn this on. I'm turning on the thing. She doesn't know what I'm saying. I'm muting my microphone. I'm going to tilt this down so y'all can watch the magic of drying. Enjoy the music. All right. Now we're cooking with gas or drying with air. Okay. As you can see, it's sealed now. That Mod Podge is just like, you can see it there. It's actually not tacky. It's just sealed under the layer. It'll continue to cure as we start to put paint on it. So one thing I want to do is I want to figure out which orientation I want this as. So I'll bring you guys up to the orientation, and I think this. No. I want this to be down. So we will, anything that we do that's like runoff or anything will be oriented this way. I want it to be gravity pulled down. But yeah, hairdryer does wonders, and now this is sealed to the touch. Let's rock and road. We'll do, like I said, I want it to be a metal. Do I have any shitty silver paint that I want to use? I don't like using shitty silver paint. I like using good silver paint. That's my problem. That, and what's that rap song? I like bad bitches. That's my motherfucking problem. Yeah. Let's do the thing. We'll use a gunmetal. Or plate mail. Plate mail? And that is Army War Paints. You can get those over on Amazon. I like their miniature paints. Famine, you're going to use miniature paints for this big thing? Yes, I am. Isn't that a waste of materials? It depends on what you call a waste. If you consider it wasteful, like you just want it for your like small detailed stuff, that's you. Old Famine here. I just feel certain ways about things, I guess. I don't know. Use a piece of paper and a palette. Practice for my Saturday and Sunday nights. Practice working at the Glory. I'm kidding. I don't work at the Glory Hole. I visit. Should have said it's not like work. That would have been a great joke. We will use a makeup brush. And we're just going to give this a coating of a dry brush coating of the silver, because I want this to look like metal, like I said. So we'll start down here. Streaks are fine, swirls are fine. It's going to get so many coats, but I definitely want areas of metal showing on this. So I'll just go over that. We'll get streaks, we'll get spots. There's going to be sponge layers on here. It's going to be a lot. I want to change this tune because you kind folks have been listening to that song Kill Shot for at least a minute, if not 2 minutes. And if you see these like scratchy looking marks, that's because I didn't clean this makeup brush out very well at all the last time I used it and put it away, it looks like. So now I have to deal with that. But that's on me. I did that. Glorious work. No, just it'd be the kind of work that sucks. Get it? Glory hole. Although, I thought for sure that there was a separate phrase or a separate term for the people that use the glory holes with their other glory holes instead of their mouth. I'm going to get demonetized for this video. That's for goddamn sure. So be sure to sign up to Ko-Fi or whatever. But apparently that's just still glory hole. You learn something. At least you learn something here on Famine Studios. It's the worst something, but you learn it. Oh, that Famine guy, does he teach you guys about world building and dioramas and stuff? No, but we learned a lot about sex work. The adult entertainment industry. See, it's just starting to look like crap metal, which is what I want it to be. You know, the mining company that was maybe here 150 rotations before, or maybe the citizens of Gimmick Starport when they were rebuilding and, you know, working on things in their world. Perhaps the giant sheet of metal, acts like a heat sink, was all that they were able to find, and so they just put it to use. And I'm not being too precious. As you guys can see here, I'm not being too precious about where the paint is applied. I'm not, you know, it's heavier in some spots, lighter in others, streaky in some spots, more smooth in others. And that's just me choosing to look at that spot and go, no, I think it should be this way. I think it should be that way. So there's no real method to this madness. It is all just my own artistic eye. I guess that's what we're calling this thing that I have in my own artistic vision. How's that sound? Artistic eye sounds really pretentious. I mean, artistic vision does too, but I really struggle to call myself an artist. Truthfully, at the end of the day, I'm probably closer to an entertainer than an artist, even though I'm making art. I mean, let's be real. How many of you guys actually tune in just to see the artwork that I'm working on versus hear me yap my gums and talk about funny things and things like that? Like, I am genuinely curious, but I imagine that it's you know, you guys tune in to hear me talk about the stuff that I'm doing too. So I would feel like I'm providing the entertainment that way. It's okay that I'm getting some of the silver into those little pockets. That's actually really great. Meg keeps calling you. I think you have to do what she says. I think if she says you're an artist, you are an artist. I think legally those are the rules. Learned loads from my streams. Well, thank you for saying so. It feels weird. As I've said before in the past, it feels weird for me to teach people, but I also know that there's so many people that are gatekeeping techniques and stuff that I've learned, that I've either paid for with art school, or I picked up talking to people in industries, or just put two and two together and have been able to say, like, hey, that's how that's done, and then recreate it. Like, I'm able to reproduce that same thing and do it. So, but it's nice that it's nice that I'm able to help people with their art. But I just feel like, you know, my yammering is it adds to the experience, as it were. Famine has spoken. That's the rules. Write that down, kids. Well, thanks, Bjorn. I try and apply new things and give you guys new skills. Applying skills you learned at art school. Yeah, but that's everybody else and not me. I don't think you guys get it. It's imposter syndrome, I'm sure. All right, so we've done, again, that was plate metal. So we're going to go ahead and grab a different metal color. Is gunmetal. Personalities bonus. Justin Wilson of World Building. Thank you. Guys, isn't her icon pick hot? Yes. All right, and I'm only using a little bit of the gunmetal. I just want to add some variation before I start applying like really different colors to this, because it'll photograph better. And I'm still blending it on that same palette, so it'll help merge the two colors together. Wait, do we have to respectfully inform Meg that she's hot? Does she not know? Meg, you're hot. Respectfully. Nobody be a creep. Hey, Famine saying hello. Timbo, how's it going? Thank you for dropping in. We're working on a panel that was inspired by Toy Domination. Nobody tell him, though. I don't want him getting a big head. But yeah. Oh, no. They can creep, I'm sure. I just don't want them to be creepy on my channel. If anybody's going to be creepy on my channel, it's going to be me, goddammit. I didn't amass 1,000 subscribers to not say something terrible that will eventually get me canceled. And I'm using the darker gunmetal blend in these holes. It's just going to help add depth. So that's what we got so far. Now, wise words. I didn't get this far to not be allowed to upset somebody by the terrible thing that I said, that while the person who I said it to may be comfortable, the mass consumption audience may not like it. Yeah. So we've got this on here. We've got the two types of silver on here. Now, I want to consider, do I want to start rusting it first? Or do I want to try... Okay. So, here's the thing. Yes, Ant, drop the link in the chat. You are allowed to because you're an admin. Whole bunch of carded figures from TBC. They're good stuff. There's custom fodder there. They're nicely taken care of cards. I thought that was water droplets and I was going to say wet, and then it got better of me, and it was the other W word, which is wizard. But yes, check out those auctions, pick up some stuffs, help out a friend in the community, and get yourself something cool. Now. Hopper. Yeah. Before I start doing all my streaking and stuff, we'll do copper, but copper just a little bit. That's like I'm going to show you. Bring you guys back down here to my level of the depth. So I've got that tiny drop of copper paint on there. See how I'm dancing my brush around? Now it's all mashed out onto that silver. blend it into the silver a little bit. Now you can see that the silver's kind of morphed into it. I want this thing going this way, so we'll consider these heat sinks, right? That's what I'm considering them. So I'm going to take that silver, and I'm just going to go around, or copper, excuse me. Just go around these, pick up a little bit more off the thing. And not all of them are going to be overly coppered, but I think that that'll add. The prices I put on eBay said they all came with plastic jackets to protect them. I'll wear your plastic jacket, but not for protection, just for fun. All right, so that just added some variety. You can see, you can pick it up, especially on a camera with lighting. I'm gonna pick that up. Okay, so now we can start. Guess we will do rust. I'm trying to consider my order of operations here. Now I'm gonna do paint color first. I want to do an industrial shitty yellow. Like just ugly yellow. You guys know what yellow I'm talking about. You guys know that like dandelion yellow. There you are. Oh God, knocking things over. Everything's falling. Famine Studios is in chaos. Yeah. Yellow light. But we are going to try something fun, try something new, a little exciting. We're going to sponge it on, and then we will weather wash. Yes. And this will be a different color way than this one will, but this is kind of like an experiment for me to get comfortable with doing this for the bigger piece. God damn, that suckers. This really is like working out the glory hole. I'll get there, sir. Or ma'am. Whatever. It's fine. It's a party. There we go. I guess that should probably be shaking a little bit more, but whatever. So we've got the sponge here. We're just going to start and I'm taking care not to get on too many edges because I want it to look like it's been really worn over time, but also like, you know, weathering happens in natural stages and comes off in layers. Oh, big stretch from Snowflake. You are so cute. You are the most beautiful thing on this planet. I love you so much. I would die for you. He says as he hits an edge. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like things as they're weathered, it usually tends to be edges and stuff that it's chipped off on. It's not heavy in certain spots. And I like the way that actually looks really nice on camera. Looks way better on camera than it does in person. So I'll take that as a win. That's one thing I learned from Frank Ippolito of Thingergy. They are a props house that does model making and physical effects for movies and TV programs. And they've done things like Fallout and done some stuff on Star Wars. Quite a few projects out there. I think they did something for the Batman and the Justice League movie. But anyway, Frank explained about sneaking up on things and like taking the time to stop and look at something on camera. Take a picture with your cell phone camera, take a picture with your digital camera and look at it on the screen and see how it appears versus how it appears in real life. You'd be surprised if you ever get the opportunity, the privilege to see movie props in person. A lot of them are painted very garish and crappy because they look differently on film. It doesn't look garish and crappy because there's color grading and lighting, the distance from the camera. That's why there's hero props versus background props, stunt props. But it's like, it's truly remarkable to like look and see just how freaking different certain things appear in person versus on camera. So it is important to like stop, especially if you're doing this for like toy photography, world building photography, or your YouTube videos and whatnot. Like take a second, stop and look, see how it looks through the camera lens, see how it appears in front of you, and understand that that's what your audience is going to see, not what you're seeing in front of you. Things can look like it's that's cool. Yeah, Frank's like one of my idols as far as like making film props and having an effects house and stuff. They went from a tiny little studio space to a full size like union effects house, and I'm so freaking impressed by that and proud of that, and like I love the work that they do. He's also a friend of the Tested channel, does videos for them, helps out Adam Savage and Norm. I know he helps with the RPF. I think they host the RPF show and tell that they have there every year in LA around San Diego Comic-Con time for people that on the RPF that like do huge builds, like the folks that do the Johnny 5 builds and the R2 builders, the people that build the DeLoreans, the Jurassic Park Jeeps, those types of vehicles that are out that way. They do a big get together, and you know, a lot of the names in film industry and like just hobby garage prop making and stuff. It's cool to like see the small people come together with the big people and just the mutual appreciation for that stuff. That's on like my bucket list, is to get out to one of those, maybe not only to showcase my artwork, but to just meet those people and spend time with them. 20-ish years. You don't look a day over 27. A traumatized 27-year-old who may or may not have gotten into a fight with a grizzly. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think I look young and old at the same time. That is a very strange dichotomy to have with yourself. And I also don't feel old because 20 years ago in my brain it was like 1980. I know it's not. I know it's literally 2004. But in my brain, you say 20 years ago, I'm like, okay, 80s, wood paneling, cigarette smoke everywhere, AIDS epidemic, Reagan. Okay. I didn't know they had cell phones back then, but whatever. And then it occurs to me that my understanding of time has long since bumbled, and then I just get a little sad. Just get a little sad. Yeah, I'm digging how this is coming out, guys. I'm going to pull this up in a second, but I'm trying to, before I show you this trick, yeah, and furniture that was like somehow velvet, but at the same time, it didn't feel like velvet. It felt like fucking fiberglass. They'd be like, oh, stay off the velvet cushions. And you'd sit on the velvet cushions and it would like pierce through your jeans. Bear with me, folks. I'm going to mute the microphone for 1 minute. I have to take a very quick phone call. Do. All right, I'm back. Look at that. So what do we think? Is this like, you guys get what I'm putting down, like that industrial kind of look that's, you know, been world worn and lived in? And as you can see, the thing that I was trying out that I wanted to show you guys before I did was yeah, and the sun was yellow. That's a big thing for me, is like, I understand the sun appears white, but man, I remember, and I guess there's some science to this. I looked it up, is that children's eyes view colors differently than adult eyes do, because adult eyes have been worn out and stuff. But man, I remember when the sun was yellow, and now it's just this white ball of hate in the sky, and we all just pretend that it's yellow. Like when we draw it, it's like, oh, a yellow spot in the sky, but it's white. It's white. Let's take a look. That's what I'm going for. That industrial, like, beat to piss from a factory look. And then check this out. And remember how I talked about lighting? There it is under a green light, blue, red, purple, aqua, another red, color change. Like, that's dope. Cool lighting, harsh lighting, soft lighting. Yeah. So we got that. And again, that was all just a little piece of sponge. It's a wall. So there's going to be it's this here. It's going to be a panel like this. I'm going to use my breast assist to stand this up. It's going to have streaks and stuff because these were heat sinks that they used to like hold back holes in the wall while they were mining. That's my lure for it. So next we'll do rust in various spots, and then we'll start to do the streaking because water, you know, moisture collects and runs downhill. Gravity, that's how it works. See, chat got quiet. They're all over there staring at Meg's profile pic. And, you know, good for them. It's Sunday. It's Lord's Day. The musician, not the fake baby in the sky. Thank you. Thank you. This effect would work. This effect would work well on like Jurassic, like in an InGen on a lab floor. But let's do Bjorn's multitasking. I know what that means. I want to do a brown. Yeah. Let's do a burnt sienna first. You are you're driving my engagement. That is true. I'm going to use this thick, gross brown paint, and I'm going to mix it with a little of that yellow, just so that we can blend the colors together. And this is going to be the base of some of my rust spots. Boop. Because then we're going to hit it with orange, and you're going to see how it mixes together. And mixing some of that yellow in, which brings that closer to an orange. See, that's what we're going for down there. And then we're just going to take this, and we're just going to, again, we're using the logic that it's rusting, things move down, so we'll tap it on areas where the flow would happen, and less so in the areas where there wouldn't be a flow of rusting of material. Right? Does that make sense? See how that looks like it's running down, whereas you wouldn't have so much rust over here or so much rust on this bright yellow spot. That'll get matted down. But we're going to use that nice mix-up that I've got there, and I'm just going to keep tapping this here and just keep using that and drag it down as I apply it too. That's the important thing, is that you pull down in whatever direction you want your rust and whatever to go to. Just work down. And I don't need to hold this up. I can actually do it this way. But I just wanted to share with you guys that little tip. Just the tip, just to see if you guys like the way it felt. And as you can see, I'm starting to pull closer to the yellow for my to restock this. And it's brightening up that and adding to the realism. Because rust isn't uniform. That's something I see in a lot of models and stuff, like home kits versus TV studios and things like that. And I try and pay a lot of attention to that because those guys get paid a lot of money to like make things look a certain way. And if I can copy that, hell yeah. So like, rust is not uniform. Utilize other colors. Look at that. Hell yeah. Brushing that one up too. Okay. So we got that. Now I'm going to take soften that. Like, see how easy that is? We're not doing rocket surgery, right? Like, that could be good enough as is. If you were doing a tabletop game, that could be great. Now I want to use a more of an orange, like a brighter orange to add to that, and just do it in a couple of spots. So, or you know what? I'm not going to use orange. I'm going to use a raw sienna. And this is where we're going to get freaky with it. Put the raw sienna right on there, on the palette. It's an ink. It's an acrylic wash / ink. Pick up a little of that yellow. Then in there. And just in certain spots. Use the side to soften. Right, I'll do it over here too. Yeah. Now, take that burnt sienna, get it all over that sponge, tap a lot of it out of there, and I'm just going to go around the silver areas that are like really prominent around the edges and soften things up there. Hey Jason, how's it going? We are doing some weathering of a panel that I was inspired by Toy Domination to do, using some recycled materials from a refrigerator box. And we're just having fun with it. Right? We're trying to make it look old and grimy. I probably won't use any pigment powders on this because this is just going to be a wall panel. But this small panel is basically a test for the idea of what I want to do with that bigger back panel there. And I have another sheet, full-size sheet, that I'll probably save for a different area, but that's how it's looking so far. Okay. Now I'm going to take my, so I'm going to put that away. I'm going to take a little bit of my burnt sienna ink. And I'm going to use a brush. This is one of my stiffer brushes. I'll show you guys. Take the brush, dip it in the ink, get most of it off there. I'm just going to tilt this a little bit. And I'm just going to add a couple of drip lines, and then to soften them, It just adds a little bit of variety. I just soften it with my finger because I'm not a real artist and I don't know how to not use my hands. Just a little bit in a couple other areas. And that's what we're looking at there. So that was just a little raw sienna, a little differential. I'm going to keep that same stiff brush. Take some, this is my gray shading ink. It's kind of transparent. It says transparent on it. I say it's kind of transparent, but I don't make the paint, so I don't get to create the label. So I'm just going to use a cup, put a little bit in there. I mean, it's pretty saturated in color. Using the same brush, take the edge off. Again, just in a couple of spots. Some oil. I could use Nuln oil, and I may in a couple of spots, but there we go. And I think that just heightens, right? Just heightens the grossness of whatever is running down here. Like, it could be oil, it could be just grime. It's looking like something, right? It's looking like, and then here, down towards the bottom where the stuff really builds up, I'm just taking some of that stuff and putting it in the crease. So if the light catches it for a photo, it really has that depth of shadow and like pooling there. And I think that's just like one of those neat little tricks that I've learned over the years. And again, any spatters or anything like that I might get that might get overworked, like I'll intentionally spatter there. Just pull it down with my finger and blend it in. So that's there. That's where that is. Now I want to take some black paint, just like that crappy acrylic black paint, splotch it in a couple of spots. We'll hit it with a little bit of green, and then I think we'll call it done as far as the weathering goes. Nice. Nice. We love older dioramas being made. Yes, that is, I live by that mantra. Okay, so, famine, why don't you dump that out onto a tray? You could utilize it like that. Nah, sucker. Just use the lid. A little bit of paint on there. Use that ombre that we created as a mess, as a palette, because that'll help build the colors in. And now I'm stamping most of it away best I can. So it's very light. And we're gonna bring the camera down here again. It's like almost just adding a little bit of a shadow to it. Softening some things, dirtying them up. Why is this corner dirtier than the other corner? We don't know. And with a little bit of a pull. Look at that, the blend. Oh, God. That's remarkable. Sign me up. like I said, I'm just hitting certain spots. I'm pulling colors together, making it look like aged, rusty shit, which is what we want. Yeah, down with that. That pleases me. I think I'm just going to entirely avoid the green for now. I can always go in and add a little bit of green flocking, or yeah, my left or screen left. But yeah, I've been putting in a little bit of work here and there. Not as much as I'd have liked to, but eventually we'll be back to full speed. But this is yeah, that makes me happy. This looks like, and that's gonna go, like I said, right up there. And it just adds to it. Yeah. I do want to do one thing. Not drop it and destroy everything. I want to add a color to that dot. I got a transparent red here. Water red. Yeah, I'll do slaughter red. Hi, Mama Rosie. Oh, you guys see your treats, huh? Okay. Come here. Here, guys. Here. Sit. Good girl. Down there and sit. Good boy. Mr. Stark, sit. Oh, that's a good boy, Stark. Sorry, dogs sell their treats. I want to put a little bit of red on this little Evil Ted mold cast piece that I had there, which I've still got a couple of those to send Jason's way. I've got them set aside. I have the memory of a 2-week-old goldfish. Transparent, so it really lets the silver shine through. Just a little bit of like a 2001 Space Odyssey Hal looking there. Cool. Yeah, I'm beyond pleased with this. You guys learned anything, obviously, feel free to use it. Tag me in it. Put it right in the frame. I'm hammered. Yes, I am very happy with that. Again, just acrylic paints, a little bit of acrylic ink, which you can honestly make with acrylic paint and some alcohol and water. Don't tell anyone though. Secret. And a sponge. So hopefully you guys have truly enjoyed this stream. I really did. I'm happy. Yeah. What, Robin? This metal, it's rusty. It's got holes in it. Oh. That was the worst beat of that entire movie, was the holy rusted metal Batman joke. Chris O'Donnell deserved better. But yeah, you could do, like I said, I've got the panel is about 4 feet. It's a 4 or 5 foot refrigerator that I got these from, 2 of them. And yeah, you could even, for like a sci-fi set dressing or a YouTube backdrop, you could certainly use that and do it. So just another tip for you guys to take home with you. If you just hit the channel and you're watching the video, hit the like button if you could. Helps out the channel immensely. Share it with a friend. If you learn anything, you're like, man, I would like to share this with my friends because that famine guy he's just such a raw talent. Just a raw talent that needs to be discovered by the world. You want to share that with them? That also is appreciated. But yeah, I'm very happy. I'm glad that I got to put a little less water in that cup. It's already got water in it, but I need to take those brushes out in the kitchen and hand wash them all with soap. Yeah. I had a pretty damn good stream. I think we got something accomplished today. Makes me feel better. Makes me feel like we're getting somewhere on this thing. And like I said, things are going to be picking back up again as far as video releases and stuff. I needed to get some things arranged, taken out of this room, changed up. So all right, let's see here. Let's do the color change thing. So we got some red, disco lights, some blues, and it just looks a little different with each colorway. Harsh light, some softer lighting, and an even softer light. So don't be afraid to experiment. Like I said, look at things on camera because they look different than how they look in your eye, like how your eye perceives them. Yeah, I'm beyond thrilled with that. So yeah, lore-wise, like I said, we covered that a little bit earlier because this area, the docks, as they call it, the shipyard, that section of the wall was mined out, and maybe they found some heat that was coming through, so they put up some plating to keep it in. It was a heat sink, and it just allows for the heat to gradually emit, and as moisture collects, it runs down. Simple, adds to the lore, not excessive, fun. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you. The dogs appreciate you. Miss Snowflake, the beautiful, perfect cat over there taking a nap, appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, you like what you saw, be sure to smack the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys know when I'm going live. Tuesdays, I do my live streams. We are back on the Tuesday schedule now that the Acolyte is over. Fridays, you can catch me on World Makers Consortium with Rad and Audi and Wentzilla. And we're gonna be doing some fun stuff coming up on that channel then. So I hope you guys have an excellent day. Be well, and as always, thank you for being here. If you're new, take a picture of Cable with that scene. Nice. Again, if you're new, I do have a Patreon. I can run that banner across the bottom right there. It helps out the channel if you subscribe. If you do subscribe, doing a drawing this month for paid subscribers, all tiers, as long as you're a paid subscriber, you get entered in. I make a custom tread droid. I'll make it whatever way you want it. This is one I did. I wanted a Wayland one for Aegis Station. And yeah, that's it. So buy a shirt, go there, spend a little money, help your friends out. And yeah, be well. And as always, guys, hit me with that too sweet.